jolted the island nation for 3 terrifying minutes Friday. That triggered an enormous tsunami. About 1,700 people are feared dead. Hundreds more are missing after the wave washed out much of the northeast coast. Then things took a chilling turn today with an explosion at a damaged nuclear plant. Officials are still trying to figure out how much radiation escaped from the Fukushima Reactor. Residents who live within 20 kilometers of the Fukushima nuclear plant are now being asked to leave. John Loynes lives 60 kilometers from the plant, and he joins us now by phone from Iwaki City. So, John, what's going on where you are right now?
Hi there. Well, everyone is just trying to, watch the news and keep in touch with what's going on and just keep abreast of the situation.
What's the latest on evacuation plans? Who's being told to leave the area?
As it stands, after the trouble at the plant earlier this afternoon, Japanese time, the evacuation was increased from 10 kilometers to 20 kilometers around the first reactor, and then they added an extra zone of 10 kilometers around the second reactor, which is a little further south down the coast.
And when people hear about an emergency like this and an evacuation notice, do you and others just try to keep hearing for any more information? We're certainly hearing reports that perhaps the crisis has eased a bit, that the radioactive material has been contained, but of course still it will be quite some time just to see what's been compromised here. So how much information are you getting?
Well, as you say, I mean, it's one of the biggest earthquakes to ever, hit in the world, and the biggest they've on record in Japan. So there's not really a precedent for how to prepare for this kind of thing. But the information flow is really good. All the TV channels are just showing information all the time. There's no other programming on, and just keeping constant information coming about what's going on and different developments as they happen.
So you've not been advised to leave because you're 60 kilometers away from the plant itself. What do you do in the meantime? Have you been stocking up on supplies?
Yes, all of the shops in town and all of the gasoline stands and everywhere have had long lines of people trying to get food and medical supplies. All the chemists as well. They've all had hundreds of people queuing up. They were letting people in only on a one-in, one-out basis in most of the shops I saw as I was driving through town today.
Tell me about aftershocks, John, because we've heard that there was quite a big one in and around the area of Fukushima.
Yes, there was actually one just a few hours ago off the coast, which was on the Japanese scale, magnitude 4. We were happy for a while. We thought we'd gone through the worst of it because there wasn't any aftershocks for quite some time. But then, again, later on, they just started coming a little bit again, but nothing too serious so far. So
how are you spending your time in the day? What are your plans in the next few days? On the one hand, we see the devastation and we hear about these concerns, and I'd have to think that people are on tenterhooks. How are you dealing with all of this?
Well, everyone just trying to be prepared. Yeah. Everyone has stuff ready if the evacuation order comes. People are ready to make a move if that's necessary. And again, just to keep as well informed as possible.
Well, John, we wish you well and really appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for this.
Thanks very much.
Well, nuclear explosions and aftershocks, of course, that is a story that we'll continue to follow for you. Coming up, the Earth